Hey, what's up, Exit the Matrix family? Bob here. Hey guys, I hope you're having a great day. Thank you for joining me here on this morning talk. Hey guys, sorry I haven't posted a lot of videos lately. I actually do have some in the wing. They're probably not going to be able to go onto YouTube. I'm probably going to have to drop them on Rumble. Just the content and some other stuff in there. It's they probably aren't going to make it, through the algorithms and everything. But anyways, guys, what I wanted to talk about today is the 15-minute cities and the big movement towards that. This is something that a lot of your local cities are doing under your nose without you knowing, and it ties in with the Jabberoos, the magic potions. A lot of this stuff ties in together. And see, we were going down a road towards total tyranny, and everybody was sleepwalking through it, and now all of a sudden we're starting to wake up. And let's just hope that some good changes are on the way. It really was two different roads, folks. I mean, look, the road we need to be going down is the road that we get all these technologies and new energy sources released by DARPA and by other, governmental agencies that have kept these technologies locked up from humanity, hiding it under military use. We have the ability right now to run power off hydrogen. I mean, a lot of people don't know this, but there are a lot of military equipment, big devices, ships and stuff that run off hydrogen engines already. And as you've heard probably, Hyundai and Toyota, and I think Volkswagen too is getting in on it, working on hydrogen engines. And they're in fact going to move away from the electric engines and move to these hydrogen engines. And the byproduct is water vapor, folks. And then not only that, the water that they do take in, they clean. They clean the air and leave clean exhaust. So there's some great things starting to come down the way, folks. But the big question is humanity going to wake up and see that the road that we were on was going straight to hell? And I don't mean hell, the biblical hell. I mean a hell on earth. See, folks, a lot of your local municipalities have been selling you down the road to this sustainability, this climate cold 15-minute city stuff under your noses. If you look it up, a lot of the major cities, the mayors have already given the cities over to these 15-minute development plans, 15-minute city development plans. And it ties in with the Jabberoos, like I said, folks, because what is in them is nanoparticulates that are controlled via internet. Let's see if I can say this so it won't get caught. Think of bots that would be really small in size, okay? That self-replicates, that build all within your system, your bloodstream. And they build antennas that can be picked up by the Internet of Everything when the 6G goes live. See, they're building the Internet of Everything, folks, and they plan to make you part of that Internet. They're building a matrix within the matrix. Oh, wow. I just have to note real quick, right as I said that, a shooting star went overhead. So that was kind of interesting. Anyways, sorry for the pattern disrupt there, folks. But these cities were being designed so that they can utilize the bots, the small ones, in the human bodies. That it would connect the human body to their full surveillance tyranny systems. That'll be incorporated in the 15-minute cities. See, folks, when they say track and trace, they're not just talking about goods and agriculture and stuff. They're talking about you. You're cattle to them. They see you as sheep. That's what they tell you in church every weekend, right? You're just a sheep. That's what the far left believes, that we're just cattle, just monkeys, right? Well, their plan is to track and trace everybody. Their plan is that once these 15-minute cities go live, they're going to push and force everybody out of the agricultural areas, out of the countryside, and force them into these cities, so that everything you do will be tracked and traced. You will be seen as strictly a commodity, and then when they bring in the full dominance in the workplace of robots and AI, well, they're not going to need you anymore as a worker. So they're going to tell you that, well, if you want to get your guaranteed income, your what do they call it? Their universal basic income, that when they do that, they're going to force you to move into one of these cities, because they're going to say that's the plan, that's the deal. You want this money? Well, guess what? You've got to live in one of our 15-minute cities. If you plan on being outside of the system and continue to live in the country, then you're not going to be able to you're not going to be approved for the universal basic income, because it's going to be digital income, folks. And so it's going to be further extension of the track and trace, to the point where every monetarily thing you do will be traced. Even if it's just paying back a friend that lent you some money or something to, get an Uber or something after a party. It's going to be that everything will be tracked and traced. That's why they wanted that so many more IRS agents, folks, because in this new system, they're going to have more newly trained IRS agents that are going to deal with this, this electronic digital currency, and they're going to be able to bust a lot more people, for trying to make money under the table and such, because once cash is outlawed, you can't have that person-to-person transaction anymore without the government knowing about it. And see, it's all like a link, folks. It's drops after this, drops after this, drops. They're building the systems now, the infrastructure. Now, is the new administration going to put a stop to this? We can hope. I mean, RFK's involved in this. Let's hope that we haven't all just been tricked and the left hand was pulled back. We were presented with the right hand, and they're just going to walk us in a different way into the same path. I hope that's not the case. I hope that this is our chance to finally break this system that they're building. Because, folks, a lot of your family members have already gotten paid off. They ain't going to tell you. You ever wonder about the people that are so hardcore against anything getting changed and fixed? It's because they're already bought and paid for, folks. They know that their livelihood is tied into this upcoming system. And if it gets stopped, they may be out of a job, out of an income. So they're going to fight for it, because they'll put money over their fellow man, over their fellow family's health and safety. They'll put humanity under tyranny for some digital currency. Now, I know that sounds harsh, but let's be real, folks. How many of your family members work in these industries that are building these systems? They're building their own chains around their necks and around their family's ankles and bodies, around their neighbors, all for some money. They've been tricked, or perhaps they believe in this. They've been indoctrinated. Now, I'm being as very vague about this, folks, as I can, and it's on purpose, because this is meant for YouTube. But I hope you can understand what I'm getting at here. This is a massive system of pure surveillance they're building. And this is to bring the whole world under one tyrannical system of rule, central rule. And right now they're freaking out because of what's going on around the world. People are starting to wake up to this, and they're not wanting it, and they're resisting. And their little puppets are getting voted out. At least let's hope that's what's going on. Like I said, it's a lot of things are illusions woven around us to trick us. But people are starting to figure out what's going on with some of this. Some of these people that are already in 15-minute cities that are just about completed are already starting to see the tyranny that's coming. And they're starting to realize it's a little too late to wake up. But they've meant to, our bodies were meant to be tracked and traced with technologies embedded. And that's what they're doing. That's truly what all of these jabberoos were meant to do. It had nothing to do with about stopping, things that can make you sick. It was about embedding a technology in the world, in the populations of the world, so that as they push us out of nature, out of the countryside, and into their cities, their stack and build 15-minute cities, that you would be under total surveillance, everything you do tracked and traced, all your data collected, everything would be designed to put us in a prison. They've been trying to figure out how to control humanity forever, folks. It goes back to the Atrahasis, to that cuneiform tablet that's over 3,000 years old, that talked about the Anuna, the Watcher, the Elohim named Enlil, that you would know is Yahweh, who said, I'm getting tired of these humans, these black-headed people. Because see, back then, folks, a lot of your first prototypes were the black-headed people, the worker class. That was, whenever you read the cuneiform, it always talks about the black-headed people. They were getting out of control, he said. They're getting too loud. They're ruining his sleep. They're starting to eat all the food, the crops, hunt all the animals in the wild. They were out of control. And some of the Anuna, some of the Watchers were trying to domesticate these people. Were trying to teach them, animal husbandry, how to raise crops, how to hybridize crops, for food source, how to build societies, build irrigation ditches, how to build systems of government, mathematics, and all these things you need to build civilization. Some of the Anuna were helping humanity. Enki and his half-sister Ninmah, known as Ninhursag, also as Isis, were one of them, or two of them. And his son Ningizida, known as Thoth. Yes, you've heard of Thoth, Hermes, right? The Hermetic teachings. See, some of them were trying to teach and enlighten humanity. And they knew that what they'd done was they tricked spirits to come into these human avatar bodies. Because it was meant to be an experience. But they were trying to use humanity as slave workers. So some of the Anuna were against that. And they were trying to free humanity, enlighten humanity. But a lot of you Christians, your hero Yahweh, because you don't truly know who Yahweh is, because you haven't read the cuneiform, and you haven't put 1 + 1 together, you're still thinking the answer's 3, because you've been tricked. But he was trying to enslave humanity, and he didn't want a free people. He wanted simple working slaves that could be controlled. And he wanted to wipe humanity out after it was looking like these people could not be controlled how he wanted. So instead of teaching them, he wanted to destroy them. First he had Enki bring pestilences on them and tried to starve them out. Tried to wipe them out with diseases. Bring plagues on them. And then finally the flood. Yeah, that's your hero Yahweh, folks. Those of you that are Christians, that are, believe in this Judeo God, this Canaanite God named Yahweh, who was in the Canaanite times, he wasn't even the highest God. That was El Elyon. You know El Elyon in your Bible? Yeah, see, there's multiple gods, folks, in your Old Testament. El Elyon was Anu, the Most High. Yahweh was not the Most High. Yahweh was one of the sons of Anu. Okay? He was also a rival to Baal. Yahweh was not even the highest order Canaanite God. He wasn't the highest order Anuna, Anunnaki, Sumerian God. Okay? And you guys are all worshiping him as if he's the creator of all. As if he was the father Yeshua spoke about. You've all been tricked, folks. You've been tricked to worship the tyrant. And to this day, behind the scenes, they are still trying to control humanity through their human agents and their systems that they set up on the earth to put humanity under a control matrix and to further trick immortal spirits known as gods walking the earth. They've tricked us into believing we're just cattle and sheep, not that we're divine sparks of the source of all creation, the true Father and Mother in one. You've all been tricked, folks. That's it. And these smart cities are their designs to further try to reel in humanity under their control. Because, see, we've been building these systems, folks, but it's coming to a point where they've realized that the best way to control us now, because our populations have gotten so high and because we have our hands on technologies like nuclear weapons and such, is that they want to merge us with machines that are controlled by them through their Internet of Everything setup. Through their, you could call it the beast system if you'd like. However, I've explained before that the beast is the human body. It's the lower vibrational avatar that the spirit uses to immerse itself into this dimension. And it's a body that is weak towards animal desires, towards lower dimensional needs and what's the word I'm trying to say here? Desires, because it's built on survival. It's the part of the human avatar that comes from the animal kingdom. But the spirit is not of the animal kingdom. The spirit is of the source energy of God. Okay? Now I know this has gone a long ways from 15-minute cities, folks, but you got to understand, it's all connected, okay? This is all connected. They are trying to build a new matrix within the matrix because they're afraid they've lost control of humanity. They're trying to reel us in. And they know that there's so many of us now that war isn't a good enough way to cut our populations. They've realized that putting certain things in the human body can get rid of people faster. And it's a twofold thing because they can also track and trace us through the same means. So you got to understand, folks, they never left. They've always been here. They're just, either they blend in with humanity or they're in the shadows. But there are still elements of both sides. Edgar Cayce spoke of the Brotherhood of Darkness and the Brotherhood of Light. Well, folks, I think he was talking about these Anuna, the Elohim, the Shining Ones, the Watchers. Doesn't matter what you want to call them, the angels. There are factions that are here to help humanity, and there are factions here that are to harm humanity. And maybe this is all just part of the game, folks. Maybe it's just the way that this is set up on purpose that way. It gives us experience. It gives us a struggle, it makes it a good movie, so to speak, right? And I'm not giving these guys, I'm not sitting here trying to make excuses for them. I'm just saying, like, look, I think there's a lot more to all this than most of us are realizing. But you look into your local city. See, I live in a small country mountain town, okay? So it's not really viable to do a 15-minute city. However, Asheville, that just got hammered from this hurricane that came through, right? And messed up Asheville, Hendersonville, and a lot of the other local towns around that area. I guarantee you they're going to rebuild Asheville under the 15-minute city plan. See? That's what sometimes what they believe in is order out of chaos, right? They cause the chaos and then they bring a new order. Well, their plan was probably to make Asheville one of the 15-minute cities. You destroy good parts of Asheville and then you rebuild it as a 15-minute city. And then further down in the future, you start people like me that are out in these smaller mountain towns, you start forcing us into their 15-minute city towards the hub, Asheville. And they would do this with Charlotte and with all these, the other North Carolina larger cities, Raleigh and such. And I guarantee you, if you look up the mayors of these major cities, these larger cities, it's probably any city really, it's about 80,000 people or more. You're going to find that they're all part of this conglomeration of mayors pushing 15-minute cities. They're building the infrastructure for the 6G networks. And folks, somebody just put out a video. They were explaining how they're putting these systems underground so that they're very embedded, so that it's hard to destroy these systems once they've been built. See, these are diabolical people, folks. And like I've said, a lot of you, maybe some of you even listening, are part of this. But a lot of people's family members and friends and neighbors are working on these systems to enslave us. I wish people would wake up. But it's hard, folks. See, look at how many things I had to connect. I had to go all the way back to the cuneiform, connect it to now. Think about that. How many people can even think, like, logically make those connections? And I don't know, maybe I'm a freak of nature because of the way I see the telemetry between things. I don't know. It just is what it is, but I see this stuff clearly, how it all connects, like a giant web, right? And we're all in that web that they're building. Internet, the World Wide Web. Yeah, it's all in the word magic too. It's insane stuff, folks. I'd like to keep going with this, but I'm back at work. It's going to be a brutal day. So I had an extra day off because of yesterday, Veterans Day. So usually we get 2 days worth of crap. And so it's going to be a rough day. But anyways, when I get home today, I'll post this video before I've got some other ones. Like I said, I still going back and forth on releasing between YouTube or Rumble. I'm not sure. For those of you that have not joined me on Rumble yet, I'm going to be starting to post my Rumble link under every YouTube video because we need to continue to build. Yes, hopefully we're in a new era where censorship is going to be let off the gas a little bit. Maybe not. We'll see. But it's always smart to diversify, right? Even if it's with your money. If it's with your social media and you're building like I am, it's smart to diversify. I mean, there was literally YouTubers that they didn't do Facebook, they didn't do, Rumble, they didn't do other platforms. They just did like YouTube, and they had hundreds of thousands of subscribers. They were living off of that, making good money over, some of them over 10 to 20 grand a month. And when they got wiped out in that purge, imagine that. Snap back to reality now, right? You got to go get a regular job now. And guess what? You didn't diversify your following, and now you have nothing to build from. You got to start from scratch. And once you're out of people's minds, you're out of their minds, right? So anyways, guys, and I'd love to hear what you guys think of my videos. Is there anything you think I need to do better? I've been trying to get better at not doing the fillers, in between words. There I go. I just did it. If you listen to some of my first videos, especially interviews I did with our Twisted Universe and stuff, yeah, I'd say I was really bad. I've gotten a little better at it, but everything gets better with practice, right? So I was never, ever thought I'd do this kind of stuff, folks, like YouTube videos and such. I love sticking to the Facebook type thing. And I just never really thought about doing this. I didn't really like to be in front of the video, and a camera, and just because it's kind of nerve-wracking. A lot of people don't like to speak in front of the public, and depending on how large your following is, that can be a pretty large following. So but I've learned to just do what I have to do for humanity. I'm doing my part. You guys all figure out your way to help out. But anyways, guys, I appreciate you guys. And I make sure if you're interested in doing the one-on-one Zooms with me that you hit me up, your donation for my time. We can talk about any subject you'd like. And I usually book 30-minute sessions, an hour, hour and a half, whatever, you would like. So anyways, guys, hey, I appreciate you guys. I love you guys, and I will talk to you later.